But
Yes,
now let's concentrate on this book. This is Anna's new book coming out called Life a la carte, How to Feed Your Happy Seed. And she really goes through some details about living that happy life and not depleting that sense that we were born with, that joy and enthusiasm, living in the moment, and keeping that seed flourishing and nourished. So let's start. Step one then. I think we went over this, but just review a little bit how to...
Well,
Yeah.
step one, actually, I am introducing my story. How did I get the happy seed? That
Right.
gift? I was born with it.
Let's so that, but but other people aren't, or are you saying they are?
Well, I actually believe that perhaps it's not the same size of the happy seed, but I believe because when you examine children and you take from Africa a 3-year-old child, and you take from Europe a 3-year-old child, and one from the Australia, from all the continents, you're going to realize that they seem very happy. They will play together on a puzzle or with a ball or with crayons or with dolls, whatever that toy is, or they'll actually interact among themselves with a sensation of happiness.
Okay.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, it's true. Kids are in the moment and they're playing.
Kids are in the moment.
Yes. Okay.
They have that happy seed. The happy seed is keeping your skin glow. I believe all that beautiful, shine in your eyes. All that comes from the
But you
happy
said
seed.
you were introverted as a child and shy, and what happened there?
Well, that's exactly what it is. I was born with the happy seed. But then because of the surroundings in Europe, I was born in a communist country. I had major challenges. I was kidnapped at a very young age.
You were kidnapped?
Yes. I was kidnapped.
Not by vampires. She grew up in Transylvania.
It wasn't Transylvania vampires, but I was kidnapped. I came from a broken home as well. And the communists took away our home, and I lived in a very small apartment where we shared a bathroom. I could only take a bath Tuesdays and Fridays.
Wow.
3 families. It's that lifestyle. It's that drabby grayness. It's that standing in line in a cold weather, 25 below zero for a loaf of
So that
bread.
made you miserable.
It's not that it made me miserable. I was basically inside. I could see that I wanted to burst out. I wanted to reach out
But
to
you
people.
had to retreat
But
in.
I had to keep it inside for safety reasons. I wasn't talking about anything unless I was asked about something, whether it was academics or my sports. I was a good runner, or about certain foods. But my mother kept me very, very sheltered because she was a product of the war and she needed to protect me as an only child. So everything in the environment was basically keeping that happy seed almost like imprisoned.
Right. So what changed?
What really changed? That's a great question, Alan. What really changed is I was growing older. It's exactly the opposite from other people.
Ah.
As I was growing older and moving away and coming to this, I lived in the Middle East at first, and then I came to America. And as I started, having the sensation of this freedom, of this amazing country here. But even before when my son was born, I was a very young girl. The joy of giving life and having a new life in my life, and all my love and everything that was bottled within me started bursting out. I started coming out with my happy seed.
That was sort of a spiritual awakening for you,
Exactly.
huh?
It was the biggest awakening that I could.
And then you realized that seed was always in you.
And then I realized that I am managing my life in such a fashion, whether challenges came my way, whether it was financial obstacles, whether it was marriage obstacles, whether it was family, or perhaps rejection from other people. Not everybody always likes you, or work schedules, or stress at school. Whatever it was, somehow I was floating with it almost like water, while the fire within me, that spirit, that happy seed, was glowing. And that's as I started getting older and more mature and even understanding more life, I realized that the seed is actually becoming even bigger and bigger with time. Instead of depleting it, I'm actually depositing it.
You're actually growing it and
with
nurturing
it.
it.
Exactly.
Because, so
Yes.
that is the reverse of most people.
It is absolutely, and that's why I wanted to be honest with people. I wanted to explain to them that sometimes the surroundings, our lifestyles, and our whole environment can impact us, can be very depressing,
Yes.
can be very much of a downer.
Yes. So what do you do? Let's say your lifestyles are a downer. Let's say you're living in a depressed country or situation.
I catch myself. Alan, for an example, I can wake up in the morning and perhaps getting overwhelmed about all the action lists that I prepared the night before.
Uh-huh.
And within moments, I think and I say, okay, what is the most important thing that I have to concentrate on and focus in the moment? Let me take out that happy seed and let me water it a little bit.
And so how do you do that?
By basically looking at everything as a gift, not as something that I resent or I'm angry about or something that's detaching from me.
Okay.
It's attaching to me. It's making me grow
Everything
better.
is attaching to you. So you're in the moment.
Yes.
And you're sort of tapping into what's inside there. You actually start to feel yourself. You drop out of the mind and the worries and you drop into this place that resonates with the presence.
Exactly. And the most important thing is that I attach myself with more humility, is more surrendering and less of the ego. I don't look at the outcome. What is in there for me?
That's important. Not to look at the outcome of things.
I enjoy the process. I totally enjoy the process. I'll give you it's a very simple example. Who likes to do a bank reconciliation? Does anybody?
Bank reconciliation?
Yes.
If I knew what it was, I probably
Right.
might like
well,
to do.
in finance, I have my background in accounting. People have to do bank reconciliations, and I do it, for company accounts, and they're in the millions. Now, let's face it. After 30 years doing bank reconciliation, perhaps it's not something that I'm passionate about.
Okay.
But yes, I am.
How do you do that?
How do I do?
Yes.
Very, very good question. What I do is I basically look at that wonderful. I'm detaching myself from the result, actually from the outcome. I'm enjoying the process of finding all the transactions. Where did the money go? Where did the money come from? Am I off by a certain amount of money? And I am completely enthused about finding the mistake or the discrepancy. And when I'm balanced, and I said, oh, great. Here is the same number at the bottom, the same number. I can close that book. And I do this month over months over months.
Well, let's say I come to you and say I'm really depressed, okay? And just down and, a relationship, all that.
Okay.
What do you tell me?
Your girlfriend walked out on you. Poor
Okay.
Alan. Well, she wasn't very smart to do so.
Oh, thanks.
But let's face it. Perhaps she's going for a change herself.
All right, but that does not help me.
No, it doesn't help you because
So I want to help.
right, because you feel rejected.
Probably,
You
yes.
feel the familiarity is no longer there.
The connection, yes.
Exactly. You have a sense of
All right,
insecurity.
stop enforcing the depression.
Alan, but we have to face it.
Is that part of it?
No,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay,
We have to
okay.
face the music. So this is
Okay.
a sense of reality.
Okay.
Now let's step out of it. Do you ever go to the theater?
Sure.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, let me tell you what that has to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
When you pull yourself out from your emotions,
I can't stop thinking about the emotions.
well, guess what? It's okay. Let it be.
Okay.
So why don't you sit in the audience? You have this great orchestra seat. You're in row 3. You're sitting
Okay.
in the middle.
Okay.
And look at the stage and put Alan back on stage and watch him right from here.
Put myself on stage.
Exactly.
Like I'm
Let
the
it
main
play
character.
out. Let it play out.
That's interesting. Okay.
Now, there's another way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a girlfriend with a long hair, with braided hair?
I guess I must have. Yes.
Okay. Well, how do we take what is that braided hair? That means it's very strong. We don't want it to fall apart in the wind or traveling. What really happens with anything that's in the now? We start opening the braid from the bottom, not from the top where we started it.
And what does that do?
So what does that mean? You start from this very moment. You don't start from what it was or what it could be or all the years that you spent with this significant other.
Right.
You start at this very moment. March 21st, 2008. Your girlfriend walked out on you.
Stop.
Let's open
Okay.
up that little braid
Okay.
and let's see what is it that it's really getting us down.
What's behind that?
What is in the moment?
Feeling alone.
But it's not happening now. It's something that happened in the past.
Oh, I see.
Now
I
you're
see.
alone. But guess what?
No.
You are actually free.
Right.
So is there a price to freedom? It's priceless.
How do you stop thinking and feeling? It takes a long time to disconnect from the feelings that.
Exactly. But did you love that person?
Yes, I must have.
And now they want to go their own way. They want to
Yes.
be free.
I still love that person.
They want to detach themselves from you.
Okay.
So what really happens? is the ego, that
Right, it's
humility that I'm
ego.
talking about.
It's
That we
ego.
got to detach ourselves, deplete it, and connect more with us, with ourselves.
In the moment.
In the
Who I
moment.
am in this moment.
Absolutely. You are still Ellen. She didn't take away from you anything.
Well, no, but she probably took away parts that I thought were me.
Maybe it was your pride. Maybe it was your ego.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
it was
ego.
a sense of security.
It is. It's ego.
Thank you.
So is that what makes people happy? Their ego and
The
their
ego,
pride?
the ego is just, I call it the controlling locomotive. It's like you know the trains that they go on this basically on the track. Let's say you go to Europe, you're in London, you have 17 different tracks, different destinations. That locomotive that you believe that it drives you. But guess what? Have you ever seen a locomotive from the end and not in the front? All of a sudden it's turning around.
Uh-huh.
So we have a choice where we place our locomotive. It's just like with the braided hair.
Wow.
We have a choice.
You know, you're also good money coach then.
Absolutely.
So tell me the same thing about abundance and all that. Tell me then how to
Well, that's
shift the attitudes around. Because it actually is changing for me. I'm very happy. And it's
Great.
just an attitude, really. It's just like I
Um,
know I can manifest and things start to change that way.
That's
but
true.
what's your secret?
My secret is, first of all, as you relate to relationships, as you relate to your work, as you relate to anything else, you look at money as not as a controlling power. It's a substance that we need to have to get by.
Right.
But when you look at money as a point of have, again, not the lecture, not telling someone off, instead of a point of lack, and you're not so concerned about it, but you put it last on your list.
You put it
will-
last on your list?
It will come to you naturally.
So you don't put it first on your list and
No.
you put it last on your but you
Last
put it
your
on the list. You
last
do
on your list. Because the most important thing is, number one, it's you. Your centering, your health, your peace of mind, your energy.
put Well then let's go through all of this. You know, let's go through all of this and because, you know, as we sort of wrap up, let's just go through the levels of structuring our sense of self. So
Okay.
number one.
Number one, again, is your happy seed. If you feed it, you're more passionate, and also you have a great spirit.
This is Anna's formula for change and abundance and love. Okay.
So again, so now you're more passionate about life.
Okay.
You're more centered. If you're managing your time better with priorities, with portion, everything just like food with portion control, then guess what? Your results, as far as your work, as far as your tasks, as far as being an entrepreneur, you're dealing with it in an easier fashion. Then guess what? Your customer relationships, your other business relationships, your friendships, everything works out in a better fashion.
Say that again. Say that. What's that key part then? That key.
Well, the
is-
key is, again, is when you know how to prioritize, you know how to validate other people.
Right.
You're passionate about what you do.
Right.
But you're also, other people are important in your life that you help them in the process.
Okay.
And you don't try to micromanage everything and try to do it all by yourself.
Okay. So then, what's next then? After that.
Then next, you know how to manage your time.
Right.
You focus in the moment.
Right.
If you focus in the moment, regardless to what you're going to do, whether you're a car builder or a house builder, or you have a patient, you're a doctor, you're just detaching yourself from the previous patient, you're with this one right now, or you're an architect, then guess what? Your results of what you're doing
Okay.
are
Okay.
much more profitable.
Okay. Then what?
Then guess what?
What?
When you build the best relationships because you are high spirited, you're honoring other people, you're honest, you're totally connecting in a genuine way. You have great personal relationships, you have better family relationships, you have better business relationships, then people honor your existence, you have better credit, then you're managing your monies better.
And then what?
And then what? Everything flows to you because then you become abundant. It's naturally you're going to become abundant because you're abundant with life. You can't be abundant with money. How many people have multi-million dollars and they're not abundant with life?
And they're not happy. It's true.
They're unhappy.
So I do see someone who's happy.
Very happy.
You are smiling a lot.
Thank you. Very much so.
So is there anything else? Like, what's your next step in your life now? Where are you going?
It's a good question. My next step is to take this out to a wider audience because my passion and my purpose is to really make people understand that without the enthusiasm for life, without the happy seed, challenges in life and changes in life, they will come and go, and they will not master them in the same fashion without
So
those,
that's the
without those ingredients. It's just like you're trying to cook. Let's say you're trying to make a salad, but guess what? Try to eat that wonderful salad without any dressing. It will not have the same taste, same flavor, perhaps not even the same presentation. Now the dressing is very important. You can choose what kind of dressing. You want a low-calorie dressing? You want a healthy organic dressing? Or you want a dressing that's full with everything else that you love so much, but perhaps doesn't create the right results?
right.
For
Okay.
you.
Okay, so that's the key there.
That is the key.
That's your next book, The Life a la carte, Feed Your Happy Seed. When is that book coming out?
The book is actually coming out next month, April 2008. And the reason I titled it Life a la carte is what I'm trying to reference here of every single area in our lives. When we focus in the moment, we address it a la carte. It's not that big menu. The difference between this and a restaurant, when you walk in and you have a menu that's a la carte, they already gave you the choice. They already created a menu for you. You can't change it.
So this you can build the menu.
This we can build, feed your happy seed. Therefore, you got a happy menu. You got a happy life.
Anna, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's see. How can people find out about you? I'm glad we had a little
Well,
spectator.
we have several websites. One of them is www.lifetimeformulas.com,
LifetimeFormulas.com.
dietforchange.com, and AnnaTheRelationshipExpert.com. And we also have a toll-free number, international and nationwide toll-free number, 888-416-1088. And you may always contact me anytime, 24/7.
I'm talking Anna Weber. That's A-N-A Weber, W-E-B-E-R. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much, Ellen, and have
Thank
a
you. I
wonderful-
appreciate your work.
Mwah!
Thank you. It's
Thank you
sweet to
very
talk to you
much.
and actually feel your joy and enthusiasm.
Good. It's contagious, Ellen. It is.
Okay. Well, that's good. So this is Alan Steinfeld for New Realities, talking to Anna Weber. If you want to reach me, you can email me at newrealities@earthlink.net or check my website, newrealities.com. Thank you for watching from sunny Southern California. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Oh, it was fabulous.
Thank you.
It was flowing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It was improvised, but
Yes.
it was real.
Thanks,
It was
Zachary.
real. It was